Hi, good morning. My name is Reynaldo Aguirre. It is Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, and the time is about 3:13 p.m. Central Time. This recording is more technical than usual and is intended for the technical departments of law enforcement or other federal agencies. It concerns something that has never made sense to me from a technical standpoint: the requirement to put devices into airplane mode on flights. The official reason we are given is that cellular signals could interfere with the aircraft's sensitive communication systems, citing FAA regulations. I have found this explanation to be technically implausible for two primary reasons. First, the radio frequency spectrum is already saturated with signals from all directions. It is impossible to sanitize it to the degree that a few phones would make a critical difference. Second, if the avionics and communication systems on a modern aircraft were so brittle that they could be disrupted by a simple Wi-Fi or cellular signal, those planes would be fundamentally unsafe to fly. Having observed the methods this network uses to conduct surveillance over the last 2 years, I have developed an alternative hypothesis. I believe the stringent regulation about airplane mode is not about preventing interference. It is about keeping the near-field spectrum clean of noise. By forcing all devices into a passive state, it makes the MAC address of a specific target, whether on the ground or inside the plane, much easier to distinguish and acquire by specialized surveillance equipment installed on the aircraft. This leads to the next logical point. For this capability to be effective, it must be universal. This implies control over the manufacturers, like Airbus, Boeing, and Bombardier, to ensure their special surveillance components are embedded in the supply chain of every plane. What is not yet clear to me is the level of automation. Can this equipment be operated remotely while the plane is in flight, or do they need to place a human agent as part of the crew on every flight? This hypothesis leads to a final critical question. I believe it would be a valuable exercise for authorities to investigate the full supply chain for the telecommunications equipment installed on Air Force One. They should trace every component, especially any modems, back to the original manufacturer. I would then recommend checking the addresses of those manufacturers against the data I have made public. The results of that query could be very revealing. Thank you.